Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing right now. I hope I did that right. Did I misschedule this? Well, because I swear I had it scheduled for 5 p.m. to go live on YouTube, but then it said that I was supposed to go live an hour ago, which would have confused more than just me, theoretically. So, how's it going? Awkward, because I can't tell what's going on. Well, I'm going to pretend like we're streaming this Geek Out live no matter what. Hi, everybody. I'm Chris Pirillo, and this is your Geek Out live for today. And we're doing it live because we had a good time doing it live the other day. And we had 2,000 people like that video. Of course, I was installing Windows 8 for the first time right there on a laptop, and it ultimately failed. I think that's what you guys liked. I mean, watching things fail. It wasn't my fault. I didn't fail. Don't blame me. People want to blame me. It's not my fault. But I do want to step through today's roundup of news and discussion points and potentially even take your questions during this live broadcast. I wanted to let you know, though, that if you want a chance to get a loot crate, all you need to do, and you saw the loot crate in that live Windows 8 video, is comment on all the links for lockergnome.com blog posts that we've put in this live video description. So, there you go. Make them good comments. They've been good comments to this point. Loot Crate is kind of fun. If you want to sign up for Loot Crate, head over to go.tagjag.com/Loot Crate. The link is also in the video description. And then use the coupon code LOCKERGNOME. You can save 10%. Every month, you get a box full of geeky goodness. And you never know what's going to be in there. I'm going to tell you that I have some live streaming juice with me. And according to Kieran David Bold, you are live. It said that it would start now. Hello from the UK. All the way from the UK. We're going to be doing a daily Diana. That sounded kind of weird. She had fun answering your questions at live.pirillo.com last night. So after we complete our date night tonight, we will come back to live.pirillo.com. She will tease it on her Twitter account saying, hey, I'm answering your questions again at live.pirillo.com, and that's how you will know things are happening. So in the news today, how to change your Apple ID and why. Did you know that you could change your Apple ID? I've had an Apple ID. I've got aliases, too. I signed up for an Apple account back in the day when it was .Mac. Do you guys remember that? That's when I got my first Mac. I signed up for a .Mac. I didn't really even use everything that Apple had to offer, but they were cloud-based services that many of them kind of gone away for better or for worse. But if you've ever needed to change your ID, we've written out the directions for you. And there may be a good reason you want to change your ID. Specifically, if someone gets a hold of it that you don't want to have knowing your ID through to. I love how I get started with the sentence and then I don't really know how to finish it in a grammatically correct way. But you know what? That's the way it goes. Even if this was a video that was edited instead of streamed live on YouTube, it would have been just as awkward. Suicide. Will a nasal spray keep Army soldiers from killing themselves? Now, this was interesting. And I didn't realize the stats were this dire. How bad is the suicide rate for returning veterans? And this is just directly off the page on lockergnome.com. In July of 2012, 38 soldiers took their own lives. Suicide is the number 2 reason for military deaths. In the first half of 2012, 116 military deaths have been attributed to suicide, and veteran soldiers are more likely to kill themselves than new recruits. Some people have argued against medication. They say meditation is a better route, but I say if it's something that could help curb that problem, then curb the problem. Yeah, not curve the problem. That would be a different metaphor. Something that could keep people from killing themselves. This is where the advancements of science and technology can start saving lives. And I think this is a I mean, potentially something that could impact more than just the military. Certainly, it would be easier to take a drug administered by way of inhaling versus remembering to have to take a pill. It's a lot easier to inhale something than it is to, through your nose at least, than through your mouth. Unless you're eating food, then you kind of inhale. You have to inhale it through your mouth. You shouldn't inhale. You should chew first. That's a completely different problem. Real-time hurricane path tracking resources. If anybody there who's watching is in the South, sorry about the whole hurricane thing, but you're kind of in the path of where hurricanes usually blow through. Not to blame you for your location and be like me complaining, oh, darn, earthquakes and volcano. I live in the Pacific Northwest. This is not a given, but it is a distinct possibility. I mean, natural disasters happen. How you deal with them, however, it can be in your control. And instead of, going to Twitter and asking questions, you could, go through a couple of different websites, including the National Weather Service's website, as well as a couple of apps, including Lex 18 Storm Tracker for Android or iOS, Hurricane and Hurricane HD specifically for hurricanes, hurricane software only available on Android, and then, of course, the Weather Channel also has a couple of official apps. So the bottom line is you should install these apps if they relate to natural disasters in your area. I have a couple of earthquake apps installed. If you live in the South or anywhere on the East Coast where hurricanes are likely to hit at some point, get an app that can push notifications to you that you either, I'm playing, oh no, hurricane's coming because I was warned by the app. Dude, you have space on your smartphone. Use it. Could just save your life. That's not just being flippant. Fleischer's Superman and today's cartoons. I guess Candace was doing a side-by-side, and she's a huge fan, apparently. Remember that cartoon? Remember the Super Friends? I remember the Super Friends. So she went through and dug up a few videos from YouTube. Introduction to Superman, the Mad Scientist. You can watch these. We embedded them in the blog post. The Mechanical Monsters, and she's basically doing a comparison, the classic Superman to today's Superman or the cartoons. The Bulleteers. I didn't even know about that. The Bulleteers? Simple group of men who dressed in hooded pajamas and had a wealth of ammunition at their disposal. And there's another one she embedded, Volcano. Oh. Dude. I'm sorry, I'm like getting sucked in. It's kind of geeky, to go through this and have fun. Someone just asked if I can talk slower. I could, but if I did that, I would not get through this video in time because there's a lot to cover. And I don't want to stretch it beyond where it needs to be stretched. So, thank you for asking. I'm doing the best I can. Praying for senior love online. And this, the way that it was spelled in this context, praying, as in P-R-E-Y, as though hunted, the prey. There is an epidemic, really, in relation to seniors and the internet. Seniors may be looking for love online. I mean, young people might too. But seniors can be duped. They may not be as savvy with the internet and communications. And they may take someone at face value, even if they've never seen their face. And this, can lead to danger. If the wrong person communicates with you, I mean, all hell could break loose, no matter your age. But I would say this is probably a bigger issue for seniors, people who aren't as well informed about the internet and still using the internet to connect with other people. And so there's a laundry list of issues abound. And this particular story was rather, I would say the best word to use for it, frightening. So we've got that story posted. If you know of a senior who may need to be informed, this is the kind of story you'd want to pass on to them. You may already know everything about everything. That's how a lot of geeks, they like to believe they know everything about everything, but that's not always the case. If you knew everything, you would not be listening to me. I'd be shocked if you did. How do I get the best gadgets? And this is an interesting prospect set forth by Ryan Pearson. And he thinks about, before he buys something, its longevity, right? Planned obsolescence is something that you just don't want to deal with. You don't want to buy a gadget and only to find out 6 months from now it's feeling dated and obsolete because a new version's available. So Ryan asks a few questions of himself. 1, what does it do? 2, how long will it last? 3, is this something you really need? And the tip that I pass along most is sell something to get something. Or sell many things to get something. When I got my new Retina display MacBook Pro, I sold like 4 different Macs that I had. They were all older, and they were still valuable. There was value to them. But I sold them and had enough money to buy one new one. It worked out really, really well instead of having a new Mac and Macs that I may not have used, as much. So there's certainly a benefit in looking around before you buy something new, asking yourself those questions. You can still be a gadget hound. No one's saying you have to get rid of all your gadgets. Just think before you buy, because I gotta tell you, a lot of the gadgets I have sitting around, it's pretty much what they do is they sit around, collect dust, which is not the objective of these gadgets or what they were designed to do. A collecting dust gadget. Well, there's an interesting idea. Some news stories before we dive into your questions here. Amazon developing ad-supported tablet computer. I don't know if they're going to release it for free, but that would certainly lower the cost of producing that. Now imagine if Amazon announces a Kindle or a Kindle Fire sequel that costs half as much, like $100 instead of the $200 that it costs, or maybe $50. I mean, wouldn't that be crazy? But that'd be great because people would buy it. They know Amazon. They trust Amazon. They trusted them enough to buy the Kindle Fire, which was a super hot seller. If Amazon can subsidize the cost of that hardware through serving up advertising, and certainly Amazon kind of is advertising in and of itself, I think it's a good move. I think it's a genius move, and it would make sense that Amazon would pull that off. Walmart is testing an iPhone app checkout feature. So essentially, as you're going by and going through the grocery, saying, "Oh, grocery boop, grocery boop, grocery boop," and you get to the get to the front of the store for checkout, you're ready to go. You pay right there because you're already checked out. You've already been scanned. It could save you a lot of time. I would be willing to do this. I think it would be worth my time. We have like maybe 2 Walmarts in our area, although we don't go all that frequently. Not to say that Walmart's a bad place. Not to say that the people who go there scare me just a little. It's not as convenient as other stores. Facebook reveals the sleazy business of fake likes. Have you liked a page legitimately? Cool. We're not talking about you. Did you like this video legitimately? Cool. Legitimately? I think you understood what I said. Cool. I'm very glad you are real. I'm glad you're a human being. But there is a practice of buying likes and comments and subscribes and views and all that stuff. And it's not as clean cut as you might be or as I might be. Certainly, if you see something like this happening, you would be wise to tell someone about it. You don't want to participate in that kind of thing because it may end up getting your privileges for Facebook revoked. Not a good thing. Software meant to fight crime is used to spy on dissidents. Again, from the creepy files. We have this technology, but who's watching the watchers? There's an old Latin phrase, although I can't really remember what it was, but it was basically saying who's watching the watchers. With great power comes great responsibility, said Peter Parker's Uncle Ben, not of the Rice fame, but of the Spider-Man fame. And it's true. We've got powerful technology, and it can be used to, do things that, if the people using it are nefarious, it's just bad news. And I'm not trying to, talk up conspiracies, putting on a tinfoil hat or anything. But it's just something that scares me a bit, really, without checks and balances in place. 50 gigabyte free Dropbox service confirmed for Samsung Galaxy Note 2 and Galaxy Camera. There you go. I've got Dropbox. I think hang on, let me check. How much free do I have? I've got 70 gigs free storage because I ended up using the Samsung Galaxy S3 device. You remember when we did that? I think it was a few weeks ago now with the giveaways and whatnot. So that was cool. I was happy. And I have 50 gigs at least for the next year-ish. And then I gotta, use something else. But by then, maybe, Dropbox will open up how much free storage you get. But you get free storage there, SkyDrive, Amazon, Google. I mean, it's all over the place, right? The cloud's just getting cheaper and cheaper and cheaper and cheaper to store your data in. I love it. I've got a couple of questions here as we round out this geek out, but let me go ahead and check to see if you have any questions for me. And if you do, feel free to ask them as I'm popping over to this computer so I can pull up the page and see the live comments. YouTube doesn't make it easy to keep watching a particular comment thread when it's live. Let's see here.
I grew up in Arcadia.
Yes, is that Daisy Chow? Her ad is running all over YouTube. Yes, Daisy, we get it. You are a Mormon. Congratulations. That's good on ya. Good on ya. I'm Chris Pirillo, and I'm an atheist / agnostic. That's one of the two. Kind of in the between there. All right, so someone just asked a question. It scrolled away. Diana, I think you may have some questions in here. You may want to come in and answer. Ethan1092. Hey, Chris, I'm a college student from Indiana and a fellow geek as well. I was just wondering what your favorite superhero was. And do you consider Batman my favorite and Iron Man superheroes? Well, yeah, they're superheroes. Absolutely. I think the more human, that is, someone who is fallible, not perfect, the more I happen to, like the hero side of them. I honestly, I liked Green Lantern when I was a kid, but I think it was because I got Green Lantern underoos, not knowing who Green Lantern was, so I think I just liked the underoos, and they were Green Lantern. I don't know, I don't think there was a superhero I never liked. I mean, I liked them all. Diana's favorite is...
Batman.
Ow. And I knew that, too. I did know that. Let's see here. iPad Mini, thoughts, asks Niffle Pro 1011. If Apple does it, hopefully they'll price it in the market where people would look at a Google Nexus 7 at its current price at $200 and an iPad Mini. I don't know if Apple would price it necessarily at $200, but that would be pretty darn compelling. Remains to be seen, though. Until we know, it's merely a rumor. And let me just say, I will be streaming live during Apple's announcements. How many likes should we get on this one and we can stream Amazon's announcements live? If we get 1,000 likes on this video, I'll stream Amazon's announcements live too. So it's up to you, completely up to you. Let's see here. How are you today, Diana and Chris? Asks James Costa. I'm good. Diana, you?
Super.
Thanks for asking. Would you be a graphics designer? Asks Official Sandy Games. I am not. Are you?
No.
No, we are not. Sorry about that. Hey, Chris, I'm sure you get this question a lot, but how come you stopped doing the hour-long TLDRs? Love them, asks Hayden Alexander. Well, I gotta tell you, we did them, and they were great when people participated live, but after they were live, nobody seemed to watch. And so we just stopped doing them. So we try to make them quicker, more condensed, and I gotta tell you, more people like the new format than the old format, and they've only proven that. I'm not just saying that. The statistics show that's what they like, so you gotta give people what they like more of. Hate to break it to you, but we're doing plenty of stuff, good stuff, every day. Lockergnome.com, of course, in this Lockergnome YouTube channel as well. And I hope to be doing new video series in the Lockergnome YouTube channel. So please, we appreciate the support and the engagement. When you like this video, it's awesome. When you comment on the videos, it's awesome. When you share the videos, it's awesome. In the Lockergnome.com and Lockergnome.net stuff as well. When you share that stuff, when you participate, it just tells us, man, that you appreciate us. And we appreciate you. And then this is whole vicious circle, which isn't all that vicious. This just gigantic love fest. A couple more questions, and then we're going to go ahead and close her out for today because I've got a hot date with Diana tonight. How is your ICEO keeping? Hey, Diana, how are you? And how are you today? Well, we already answered that question. But the ICEO is doing quite well. Do you remember the ICE? I'd run and get it, but I'm on camera right now. So you're just going to have to go and watch the vlog where the ICEO makes an appearance. Let's see here. One other question, and then we'll stop. Cameron Ryan asks, do you prefer iMovie or Final Cut Pro? Both. iMovie is incredibly simple. I use iMovie to record the Geek Outs every day through this particular camera, which, to answer someone else's question, is a Canon HV40 connected by way of FireWire to the Retina Display MacBook Pro. I do use Final Cut for the new version of Final Cut Pro X for editing the vlogs, and I like it. It's fast, it's simple, it's efficient. The video editor, it makes it painless. I import video and can start editing it right away without waiting for everything to fully import, and that is amazing. And that kind of background tasking, to me, has become almost essential for when I do any kind of video editing. But I make it, you know, as clean as I possibly can. I don't like doing video editing. I don't like spending my time on that. I'd rather spend my time doing other things, like living life. So thanks again, guys, for participating in this live Geek Out. If we get 1,000 likes, you know, for this video, I'll stream, as I said, the Amazon announcements live. If we get 1,000 likes over the weekend, I'll stream Monday's Geek Out live as well. So the power is in your hands. I leave it to you. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. I'm not going to force you. I'm just going to say that we really appreciate all the support you give. So, you know what to do. Subscribe to the Locker Gnome email newsletter and continue to participate. We love you, and we'll see you later.